Welcome back to Let's Play DDO Permadeath, part 28. Alright, I did Rest for the Restless in the previous video. And I'm going to do the Depths Chain now. This will be the last level 4 quest I do before leveling up to level 7. I have quite a large collection of good level 7 gear in the bank now, so it's about time I leveled up. This is a very commonly done chain permadeath. Unlike some of the other level 4s, Proof is in the Poison, Fresh in the Air, and Rest for the Restless, fairly rarely done. I guess basically because this chain is much easier. Alright. This quest chain is quite unusual. As someone on the forums I think put it, this is the closest thing to a chain generated by a random level generator. In that it's a completely random mix of stuff, none of which you normally see all lumped together in one quest. So I thought I would talk a little in this video about the those new sound effects are still disturbing me. So I thought I would talk about the control setup I'm using. Key bindings and such. So as people have already noticed, I don't keep very many hotbars on the screen on my characters. I rely mostly on key bindings. So I keep a hotbar immediately above my main hotbar here with various weapon sets on it. But actually most of my weapon sets are accessed through key combinations. So I have Shift U for Undead Bane, which is what I'm pulling out for these guys. I keep my main offensive spells and combat abilities on the main hotbar. So like I have Flame Turret on number 4, so it's easy to throw in the middle of a fight. And I have various combinations, so Shift U is Undead Bane. Control B for bludgeoning weapons. And I have things like Control G for good aligned weapons, Control L for lawful, Control C for chaotic. which gives me rapid access to various weapon combinations, which is handy in a quest like this where you come across lots of different enemies. Alright, that's the shrine cleared. So the general pattern is I have shift letter for Bane weapons and control letter for weapons with either alignment based stuff or fire cold. So I have control F for fire, control Z for cold, for instance. I keep buffs on the hotbar right below my main hotbar, so I don't expect to use those in a fight, and they're not on a normally visible hotbar. But I can easily scroll down to them when I need to rebuff myself. And on characters with a lot of buffs, I have a further bar of buffs. Usually on characters that are actually buffy, I have one bar for group buffs, and one for individual buffs. And I always keep a key combination, currently / for switching back to my main combat hotbar. Since a potential failure case, as it were, is that I forget to scroll back to my combat hotbar, and not having access to my combat abilities can be very dangerous. And that's a good example of why I have the key combinations. I got caught out by that guy, but I could easily hit Control Z and get a fire weapon get a cold weapon up. And against the Hellhounds in particular, using a cold weapon is much more effective. So I keep my buffs on the hotbar below my main hotbar, and on the hotbar above my main hotbar I keep all of my current equipment. And on the hotbar above that, it takes more than one bar. That enables me to flip back to my normal gear very quickly. I can just flip to that hotbar and run through the numbers 0 to 9, and I'm back in my normal gear. I keep my main healing powers on their own hotbar, which is this one over here. Although I mostly don't use that on the screen. That's mostly on keys assigned near my right hand on the mouse, and my actual main healing is always on the buttons on my mouse, the third and fourth mouse buttons. And usually other combat abilities and spells are on the main first hotbar here, and on this hotbar, which is the row of keys immediately under my the hand controlling my movements. So I've got I can get sort of 8 or 9 combat powers on convenient hotbars that way. Alright, I still have the whole west side to do in this one, it seems. I must be going in circles. The one thing I don't have fully worked out in this, in my various key bindings, is how to control my pet, which is why I've been swapping a lot onto my, why I've been going out of mouse lock mode whenever I need to tell the pet something. Again, that was another very convenient moment to be able to switch to a cold weapon. The other thing that is annoying about the pet from a control point of view is that they don't put it in with the other player characters. It would be a lot easier to select for healing if it was listed near the other players.
Only one room left to explore.
Alright, I already have ransack in fact. So all I need is to try and improve on aggression here. Of course I can open locks on this guy, so I can get into the locked section over here. We can't very often get in there, so I almost forgot. I have all of my non-combat skills on another hotbar that I have to scroll over to keep my main hotbars free for combat stuff. We get in here so rarely. In fact, I'm cautious about traps. That's a fairly interesting item. Although I picked up a Deadly 4 item on the previous quest end reward, which is very promising. If that's really giving me an extra +4 damage, then that'll be very nice once I get to level 7. And you can see why I picked this quest to talk about key bindings. Being able to suddenly switch from coal to fire to undead bane is very handy in this quest. Alright, well, that got me to Onslaught. But the map is now filled in, so time for the end fight. This boss is not even a caster, I think, so he's no problem. There's a shaman in the back, though. I think I got Conquest there, right on the end. That magnetism item might actually be handy. Since they have greatly nerfed the ranged combat line for Artificers, I might go more caster oriented on this guy now. In which case doing some electric damage would be quite handy. Alright, there are definitely hobgoblin casters in here, so fire resist is probably most useful.
It is oppressively dark here, save for a few flickering torches that might provide enough light to fight properly.
Now there is definitely some sort of trap in here. In fact, I think there are several traps. Alright, not going any further that way then. As usual, a bit of ducking and weaving there, so I could go for the caster first. Despite my jibe about the random level generation earlier, actually quite nice quests these. You wouldn't want every quest to be designed like this, but they work as an interlude from some of the other quest designs. These are nice simple dungeons. Alright, the trap was just near that mushroom, right? I think the box is on this side. Well, it certainly wasn't the other side. There we go. Alright, this chain is one we very often run on PD because it's one you can definitely do above normal. And of course it's free to play, so everyone has it. This is the first spot in the chain where people get in trouble, since there's a lot of guys spawn in this corridor. And the necromancer at the end is a caster to be taken seriously. Making sure I have a shield on there. Wow, nearly put my concentration to the test there. I got lucky that veteran was mucking around too much to actually attack me. That got a little out of hand. I'm not used to those guys breaking up quite so much. I guess this guy has a lot of small hits, whereas I'm used to, even on a regular melee guy, you're usually doing more damage per hit. So they're not breaking up as fast relative to the damage you're doing. Yes. Now this is definitely a spot where people have died. Alright. Is there a chest for that guy? Alright, I have the locked section to do as well here. I am neglecting to use my skill boosts as usual. My action boosts, rather. Alright, the final fight is the other one in here that people can get caught out on. Usually the combination of the casters overhead and the boss. That can sometimes cause people a problem. Well, I got to Onslaught. I should have kept my dog outside for that one. He woke up the boss before I could deal with all of the other threats. And yeah, so the one other key binding thing I have is I have full stop on the numeric keypad brings up hotbar 16, which is where all my curatives are. So that's where I keep my lesser restoration, remove blindness, all those utility potions which are not normally needed but are occasionally useful to grab in the middle of a fight. Alright, since the next quest is level 5, I may as well take level 7 before I do it. And I'm out of inventory anyway, so I will go and take my level and see you in the next video.